Ladies and gents, this improv story is based on the idea: taking a really bad bus journey. Let the story commence. Craig had to get on the bus to go to work. He didn't want to go on the bus because nobody wore fucking masks and the bus driver didn't care and nobody fucking cared and the whole thing was fucked. It was like the old days when you weren't allowed to smoke up the top of the bus, but people did it anyway and nobody gave a fuck. They're not getting paid enough to fucking go up to cunts and go like that. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? No, well, how come how come I know, but can you just fucking, like, the bus drivers like work in the fucking same area as the cunts that are driving home. They have to fucking go to the same pubs as them. Are you going to say, put that mask on you, when that's a fucking guy you don't speak to in the pub? You know, you're going to do it. Just a mess. So Craig got on. Didn't want to get on. Nobody was wearing a mask. Nobody. Probably at some point somebody was wearing a mask and saw that other people weren't, and they felt a bit daft, so they took it fucking off. Everybody was coughing. Everybody was coughing. Craig was just sitting there. There was a guy right behind him coughing, right on the back of the neck. Like that. Craig was like that. He went, right, fuck this. He walked up to the bus driver. Driver, there's nobody wearing a mask. Fucking sit down. There's nobody. Get behind the line. Behind the line. There was a line. Do not cross this line when the bus is moving. Like, fucking... Driver, there's people... Driver. He didn't want to shout, he didn't want to grass them up because he was back there with them. He wanted to sort of go, just to let you know there's people. He thought, right, the only way to get beyond the line is to press the button. Press the wee button. Ding! The bus stopped. He walked up to the driver, but he didn't get off because he didn't want to get off. Driver, sorry, I had to press the button so I could pass the line. There's folk back there and that. Are you getting off or no? No, I had to so I could speak to you about this. You can't waste it. So you're not even getting off? Fucking hell. The door's shut and he starts driving. Craig's like that. Hey, ho, stop. Bus driver stops again. Like that. Everybody in the bus like that. What's going on there? My God. Craig was like that. What's just thinking, what's going on? What's going on with you? Put a fucking mask on. There's a fucking, I feel like going, there's a mask. Driver, what is this? Is more important than me getting off or no? You got people back there and just letting the driver's just like that, letting them speak. You've got people back there. The driver just went like that. Right, fuck it. He reversed like that. Right. Craig fell forward and banged his head against the window. Like that, bang. Few people back there went like that. Guy's drunk. That fucking steamer. That guy's drunk. I'm no fucking drunk, driver said. What's your fucking language? You're telling me to watch my language, but you just swore that when you do it. Get fucking off. I'm going to be reporting this. And then the driver went like that. The driver shut the doors. Because he thought, I can't have him report me because I need this fucking job. Because there's fuck all else out there right now because of this coronavirus. Because of these cunts back there with no masks. He just shut the doors and he just shouted. The driver just went like that. He's going to grass yous all in. What do you make of this cunt? the people downstairs, fortunately, just like the driver, didn't want to get involved. Just like the driver didn't want to get involved with telling people to put masks on. Everybody said nobody wants to get involved, except it was a double decker, and there was these feet tip tapping coming along. I would say 6 feet. I would say the sound of 6 feet coming along the top. So 3 people. So I'd say 3 people. Could be some sort of human centipede or something like that, but I doubt it. Down the stairs came 3 wee guys, and they went like, "What's going on?" And Craig went like that. The 3 wee guys had masks on. They had masks on. And Craig went like that. "Boys, look at this. Look, nobody's wearing a mask." And Craig sort of pointed, right, to the people downstairs. And the wee guys went like that. "Stick your fucking masks on." And one of the wee guys said something about their granda. Craig was like, right, so he's this wee guy's obviously cares, person involved, and he sort of makes sure the other ones toe the line as well. Surprising, teenagers got a kind of serious lack of empathy, but if they're affected by it, if they're personally touched by it, they're in some way closely related to whatever it is, whatever the issue is, they can be surprisingly what would you call it? No authoritarian. Surprisingly considerate and virtuous by the same degree that they're inconsiderate if it doesn't affect them. Like fucking every cunt better fucking stick the fucking, like that. So they all started sticking their mask on because they were shiting it for these wee guys, because he like that, right? And Craig, as he was pointing, right, he just happened to sort of move his finger and it touched one of the eyes of one of the wee guys. Now, I don't know if you know about how wee guys work, but you know how, like, they could be the loveliest wee dog in the world, loveliest staffy in the world, lovely dog, but if you happen to, like, say, poke its eye or accidentally, I don't know, touch its arse, it'll fucking have you. It just doesn't know what's going on. So he accidentally touched the eyeball of one of these wee guys, and the wee guy went like, honestly, within, I would say, a very short period of time, Craig was just reduced to mincemeat. It was like a flash of knives, and he was reduced to mincemeat on the ground. You know how long it took? I'd say, I think, less than half a second. Less than half a second. Mincemeat. The wee guys got off. The driver said, "Yous are all going to have to get off and all. Yous are going to have to get off and all." Because it's a mess in here. The people downstairs, they went to get off, but they slipped. But they slipped. And the first one broke their skull on the seat, the metal rim of the seat. They hit the ground. because their skull was all pointy because it was shattered, the next person slid and they fell down and they fell forward, and a bit of the skull for the previous person went into that person's head, thus shattering their skull, so on and so forth, until all the skulls were shattered. Mincemeat, brains, and I mean brains. No, like when you talk about one person blowing their brains out, because it is just one brain. Actual numerous brains. And the driver thought, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for this, the mess here. He thought, I know what to do. See what I did with that Craig cunt. Craig, I was ready to say Craig was away. He was away, he's away to fucking heaven. I forgot that he was mincemeat. I forgot what happened to Craig because he's mincemeat. The three wee guys, they fucked off. The driver reversed the way he did before, and by reversing quickly and keeping the doors open, it slid all the mess to the front. And then see to get it, the door was on the front left of the bus. Then what he did was he turned the wheel to the left and then reversed. So he was just doing a kind of like a donut, sort of. And that just tipped it all out, all the sludge out. And then by running at it a few times, you couldn't make out if it what it was. Was it mince? But all the bones, it just kept going back and forward. Took him about a couple of hours. Just looked like you couldn't work out what it was. He'd went at it so many times with you couldn't even see that it was blood. Because he went at it so many times with the fucking bus. You know the dirt that's underneath a bus, the oil. It just all became all kind of, it looked like mud. Just mud. Mush, says Johnny. I just became, I just looked like mud. Just looked like mud. General mud. So that was it. So Craig was right, you know, it's bad. It was bad for their health. It was bad for their health. So even though you know how they died, it was put down on the death certificate COVID. COVID stands for Certificate of Vaccination Identification 19. It's a scam. An absolute fucking scam. The end.